Welcome back, folks. This week, I have a question for you. When it comes to picking out rolling stock for your own collection, passenger cars, freight cars, you name it, what goes into your thought process? Is it road name, scale, era, manufacturer? There's an overwhelming amount of possibilities. And I'm curious to know what goes into your thought process. Because this week, I have something special that we're going to be doing. And I partnered with Model Railroad News to review these two top-shelf freight cars by Atlas Model Railroad Company. My good friend Jason over at JDstucks is going to be thrilled to see blue boxes in my video.
Wait, RBP Trains is finally getting into Atlas? What took him so long?
So this one's for you, buddy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. When I'm picking freight cars for my collection, I look for a couple of things. Number one, is it a scale piece that I'm after? What am I running it behind? Do I care? Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Is it something that matches a road name that I'm collecting? A coal drag or some sort of specific train from a specific region? Or is it something unique that I don't have? And that's really where these two cars come into play. They check that box for me. And what I'm really excited about showing is just how unique both of these pieces are, because they really add diversity to your collection. So I would recommend, if you're ever at a loss for what to add, look for something that maybe you didn't think about before, and you might be surprised how it looks running around your layout. I won't lie. When I thought about this video, I thought to myself, Chris, how in the world are we going to make a video about freight cars interesting? But as I started to research, as I started to look at the models and saw these two particular items, I realized just how fascinating and interesting they really are. So let's dive in and take a look at each one. One of the things I look for when it comes to collecting freight cars is versatility. I have a large collection of engines and I love to be able to run cars behind different eras of engines. And nothing is more versatile than the 1937 AAR boxcar, which is exactly what this Ontario Northland is. This car looks excellent behind modern diesel engines and steam engines. I can interchange it between different types of trains, and it still maintains a prototypical experience. Now granted, I like to run trains for fun all the time, so I'm not always into prototypical operation. But if you're someone who really enjoys scale prototypical operation, you can't go wrong with this type of boxcar. The Ontario Northland car is part of Atlas's Steam Era Classics product line. I'm blown away by the detail on this freight car. Even the bottom. I mean, look at the bottom. Look at all of that. Look at all of these separately applied hoses. Hope I don't break something on this thing. The Ontario Northland boxcar is painted in a mid-1960s paint scheme, which is just excellent. The color contrasts with a lot of the other pieces of my collection and really make this car pop out when it's in the middle of a train. You know, you can't have a train without rolling stock. The Ontario Northland boxcar can operate down to a 31-inch diameter track, which also make it, like I said at the beginning, very versatile. It's a very versatile freight car. As a model railroader, performance is key, especially when you're operating multiple trains. You don't want things coming apart. And Atlas couplers are some of the best couplers on the market. These cars hold up under heavy loads and over long run sessions. I've always been a huge fan of the Alaska Railroad paint scheme. And it's really great because also as a big fan of hobo shoestring, I look at this car and just imagine putting a figure of him riding it. The Alaska Railroad hopper is from Atlas's Master line, which is their top shelf freight car. As we take a closer look, you'll see that it spares no detail. There were so many little details on this car. Everything from the ARR markings down to the trucks, to the roller bearing caps, all of the separately applied details, as you can see from these photos. Just an outstanding model. And the performance of this car is excellent. It's a smooth runner around the layout. It has those same strong Atlas couplers that we talked about with the Ontario Northland. The car is more modern, so I tend to run this one behind more of my modern diesels, but you can run it behind anything because it's all about having fun. It's just a model railroad at the end of the day. You do it how you want to do it. Let's see both of these cars in action. A huge thank you to Tony Cook and the team at Model Railroad News for supplying the cars that I used in the video tonight. Atlas has always been a leader in the prototypical market, and these freight cars really show us just how good they are. For a more in-depth review on both of these cars, stay tuned to Model Railroad News in the November and December issues, where these should be covered in more detail. As always, a huge thank you to all of my subscribers and to everyone who's been supporting this channel. I love picking out freight cars for my collection, and I'm sure you do too. And hopefully tonight, these two models inspired you to go look at more of the offerings from Atlas. Such great things out there, and I'm really excited to be adding these to my collection. My name is Chris, and this is RBP Trains. I'll see you next time.